Story time. I was at a high school and there was a female student there with a tube top on and some shorts so short you can basically see her butt crack. I then looked at the male teacher, who happened to be an older black man, and said, "Do you guys not have a dress code? There's not enough administrators to really enforce it." I said, "Well, why don't the teachers enforce it?" He said, "Ma'am, let me tell you something." Goes on to say to me, "Ma'am, I'm a few years from retirement and I don't need no problems. And the last thing I need is a report coming my way from a student counselor after I tell a little girl to cover up and she tries to make it seem like I'm being a pervert. You know what? Why don't you call her mother?" And he says, "Ma'am, with all due respect, only thing that's going to happen if I call that girl's mother is a larger version of her is going to come up here, dressed the same, with the same level of maturity and the same disposition, yelling at me saying I'm looking at her daughter." Oh, and that's not all. I know a male driver trainer that ended up training a female driver, and when he did not give her the green light, she went in there and told them folks he failed her because she wouldn't sleep with him. She couldn't bag up. And then when they asked her to bag up, because it's like about 80% of the job, guess what the heifer couldn't do? That's not all. I know of a man that was in management, and there was an employee who had been written up several times due to altering her uniform to fit tighter, claimed that she hurt her arm. And she went to this said manager, as most employees do when they claim that they are hurt, and he looked at her arm and touched her arm. And he was then written up to HR for inappropriate touch by this said employee, who was almost out the door and being fired due to altering her uniform. One thing I can say, if women continue to weaponize their sexuality in this way in the West, you're going to see politicians and officials put forth policies to incentivize the removal of women in many sectors in the workforce.
They say men are afraid. No, most men aren't afraid. We're cautious. A wise man understands that one bad accusation, one false narrative, one misunderstanding, or one emotional reaction can damage his reputation, his career, his finances, and even his freedom. So men learn, we document, we move carefully, we choose our company wisely, we pay attention to red flags, we protect our peace. That's not fear. That's experience. A man who's been burned doesn't stop touching fire because he's scared. He stops because he's learned.
Men aren't afraid.
We're calculating risk, and in today's world, that's called being wise.